Coming later in the programme, reporter Nick Baker on his plans to travel the world from one internet cafe to another. But now, 17-year-old Kim Petras from Cologne in Germany was born as a boy called Tim. But she spent nearly all her life longing to become a girl. Last year, she persuaded the German authorities to allow her to have gender realignment surgery 2 years earlier than usual, at the age of 16 rather than 18. The decision to make an exception for Kim was only taken with the full support of her family and the psychotherapists who'd been counselling her for many years. I asked Kim when she first started to feel that she was a girl.
In my case, it was always like I acted like a girl, was always like wanting pink stuff and I wanted to wear my sister's clothes. So there was never like I was a boy and wanted to be a girl, but I always behaved as a girl.
And how did your parents respond to that in the first place?
Well, of course, at first they thought it was just a phase and stuff and, it would pass. But, when I kind of turned 6 and it didn't go away, they just knew that it wasn't just a phase.
Did they try to argue with you? Did they try to make you wear boys' clothes?
At school, I had to wear boys' clothes. I hated it, so they let me wear girls' clothes at home, so that was all right. Of course, they talked to me about it many times, but I was always, really behaving as a girl, and they never really saw a boy in me.
And how did you explain that feeling to them when you talked to them about it? Did you just say, I want to be a girl, or I am a girl?
I did just say that I am a girl and, that I cannot live as a boy, and it would be very, very strange for me. So they kind of understood it because they saw me every day and they just noticed that I was always acting different, and so they knew that.
Were there times when it caused problems between you and your mum, for example, that you wanted to wear a dress and she didn't want you to wear one?
I did hide the dresses under my jacket and went to school with it, and of course then she got angry a little bit because it must have been strange for the teachers and stuff.
What did people say at school when they found that you were wearing girls' clothes underneath your boys' clothes?
Well, I've always looked much, much more like a girl than a boy. And at first they thought that I was a girl dressing as a boy. So they thought finally she's wearing girls' clothes. But when they really got to know that, of course, they were talking about it.
Did you get bullied by people at school?
Yeah, I did. And there were so many people that had something against me. And but I just ignored them, and I had my friends and I had my people that I liked. And so it never really got to me.
Was there a time when you tried to cut yourself because of the
Yeah,
disagreement?
there actually was when I was 6, and I wanted to wear my sister's dress, and I got really, really angry because my sister wanted it back, and I wanted to wear it all day, so I got really angry, and then I locked myself in the bathroom, and my mother took every scissor in the house away because she was really scared, and then she told me, that there was a surgery and that I could just live on and wait for that.
Did you get counselling or therapy quite early on in life?
Well, I did get the hormones with, I think, 11, in the end of 11, and puberty blockers and stuff. So the male puberty gets blocked and the female puberty starts. So, that's the main treatment.
And what sort of things did they talk to you about before they gave you that treatment? Did they ask you a lot of questions?
Yeah, of course, I went to tons of psychologists and stuff because here in Germany you can only get the hormones with 16 or something, and the surgery with 18. So I was really, really young, and they didn't really know such a young case. So of course they asked lots of questions, and many told me that I can do anything about it, and many supported me. So I was really happy that I finally got the hormones.
Were they reluctant at first? Did they really try not to give you the hormones because they thought you were too young?
Yeah, of course there were some psychologists that didn't want me to get them so early just because they thought, she's so young, she can't think. And I could, and I just knew who I was. And so I got to know people that understood the situation.
And I think you wanted to change your name when you were 12, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it difficult to do that?
It wasn't difficult at all. I've already had the treatment with the hormones and stuff, and many psychologists were, they knew me, and so it wasn't really this hard to change my name.
And did you just go back to school one day and say, stop calling me Tim and start calling me Kim?
I just went away for holidays, and all of my friends just knew the situation, and so they called me Kim, and since then everybody calls me Kim.
And presumably all of this time you were hoping that you would be allowed to have the gender realignment operation.
Yeah, of course. I've started to go to psychologists for that, right after I got the hormones, because I just couldn't wait. I was so excited, and there was so much pressure, and I wanted to get it as early as possible.
Were you never concerned? Were you never in two minds about it? It was always just clear that that was the thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, it was always, since, I don't know, I'm 6 or something, my mother tells me, you can do the surgery when we'll try to get it early. And so that was in my mind. I just knew that I had to get that, and I got it, and I was like the happiest girl on earth.
What changes did it make to your life when you woke up and had that operation?
It didn't change my life at all. People react the same way to me that they did before. And the only thing that changed is that I'm finally comfortable in my body, and I can just feel like myself. And, it's a change for myself and not for other people.
And of course, some people will say that perhaps you should have waited a bit longer because there are changes to people's psychology and changes to people's physiology, changes to people's bodies when they go through puberty. Should you not have waited till that had happened to see whether anything changed?
I don't think so, because, now I can live like my teenager life, and I think it's just important to live youth and just not have that much, responsibility for everything you do and stuff. So I can just live my teenager lives now and just be, young and live my life. And, if I would have done it with 18 or something, then, this phase would have been over. And so I'm really happy that I got it so early.
I presume that one of the things that you won't be able to do is to have your own children. Is that a worry for you?
I can still adopt a child or something, so I don't really care.
Have you had a lot of people who are in a similar situation to you writing to you and saying, you've given me hope, or you are a positive model for me?
I got a few, and I don't know what to think about it, because if people are like inspired and then start wanting to be a woman, then I don't think that it's a good thing. I think everybody has to find it out, himself.
And I have to say that you sound incredibly happy and you sound incredibly well-adjusted, and I suppose there aren't many people who can go through what you've been through and come out sounding so upbeat and so cheerful. What's the secret of that?
I don't know. I just have, a lot of friends. I love my family. I have a lot of fun. I have tons of humor. I'm just a fun person, and I don't let anything get me down.
Kim Petras speaking to me from Cologne in Germany.